Hi everyone, I'm Jody at Fort Worth Fabric Studio, and today I'm here to show you how to make this quick and easy pin-tucked pinwheel block. And this is a nice scrappy block that is a lot of fun. We just featured this with our Friday bundle this week, and a lot of you asked how to make it. So I'm going to show you in a few quick steps how to do this. We also have a one-page printout available. If you click on the link below, it'll take you to that, so you'll have some written instructions as well. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to, I just want to mention fabric selection here. As you can see, this is pretty scrappy. So we used 8 different prints here, and then your 9th print is in the middll. So make sure when you choose your fabrics for this that you use a nice selection of fabrics to keep it looking scrappy. And if you use one of our 10-piece Friday Fat Quarter bundles, you'll be able to get 8 of these 12-inch blocks out of it. So I've already cut mine. These need to be cut into 7.5-inch squares. And then I've paired them together how I want them to be paired up. And you kind of want to do a light with a dark, or just something that contrasts. That'll give you the pinwheel effect. So you're going to take each set of 7.5-inch squares, and the instructions will tell you that you cut them in half and then sew them together. And I'm going to do a shortcut method that keeps us from having to cut them at this point. We're kind of going to make 2 at once. Okay, so I've laid my 7.5-inch squares right sides together, and I'm lining up my Omnigrid marking ruler here from point to point. And then these lines that I'm going to draw down the side, these are my sewing lines. So I'm going to draw these lines here. And then these are the lines here and here that I will stitch on. So I'm going to go through and draw lines on the rest of these, and then I'll be ready to sew these together. I'm now going to sew down my 2 sewing lines. I'll cut right in between the 2 sewing lines, and then this will give us 2 half square triangles. And then I'll repeat this process on the rest of our squares. And you'll want to press your seam toward the darkest of the prints in your set. So this is what they'll look like, and we'll continue on making the rest of these now. And now I'm ready to trim up my half square triangle blocks, and these need to be trimmed to 6.5 inches. So I'm going to use this Bloc Loc 6.5-inch ruler, and I love the little groove down the middle because you just lock it right into your seam there, and then it's easy to do. You just trim up on all 4 sides. And then this is what it'll look like when it's finished. So you're basically going to go through and continue to do this process on all of your half square triangle blocks, and you'll make them all be 6.5-inch squares. Now that we have these finished, the next step is to take our little green squares, and these are going to be the little dog ears that we sew on, but it will be helpful to have a line drawn down the center. And I'm going to go ahead and draw that line from corner to corner now. This will be a sewing line that we use when we add these on. Okay, now that we have these done, we're going to add these onto each of our half square triangles. So what you'll do is you kind of want to, you want to lay out how you want your blocks to be so that you know where you're sewing these little dog ears on. So I'm going to go ahead and lay mine out here. We're going to have the dark part of these prints being the actual pinwheel itself. Okay, so this is how our block is going to lay out. So we're going to want to sew the little dog ears in the middle. Let me show you here, so that you end up with this section like this. So we're going to sew our little dog ears on into this section, and what you'll do is take a square and line it up on the corner, and then you're going to sew on this line right here that we drew, and then when that is done, you'll trim this off and press it over this way, and then you'll have your little dog-eared section. So we're going to take this over to the machine and sew it this way on all 4 of these. So we'll end up sewing these just on here like this, and we will get started sewing these. Okay, so I'm going to line this up real carefully here and start stitching on the line. And I'll do this first one here and give you a peek at what we're doing. And then after that's done, I'm going to continue on with the rest of them. But we've got this sewn on, and I'm going to trim 1/4 of an inch below my sewing line here. And then turn this way. And if you want to press toward the green dot, that'll be the easiest way to do it. So you're going to go through all of them, and they will look this way when they're done. You'll just want to lay these out one last time before you stitch them to make sure you've got your pinwheel going in the right directions. And then just go ahead and stitch your blocks together, and you'll want to be very careful where the green seams meet, the little polka dot centers, because you want to match those up perfectly, and it may help to do a pin or 2 in there to get that right. But I'm going to go on and sew these together, and then we'll have this block done. Okay, so I'm back with finishing this block up. I pressed my seams, I used a little starch, and then squared up the block. So it should come out to 12.5 inches all the way around, and that will give you a 12-inch finished block once you sew these into a quilt. So this is a fun, scrappy project. I hope the tutorial helped. And be sure to check out the links below so you can print out your instruction sheet, and also check out our other videos. We have a few other tutorials up. We're gradually adding them as we can, and I hope you enjoy them. Be sure to subscribe to our channel as well so you don't miss anything. You guys have a great day. Thank you.